Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at another atmospheric fighter, and this one is called the Gladius Atmospheric Fighter, which is this lovely thing right here. So this is a small, compact fighter ship featuring a lot of firepower and defensive capabilities. We got turrets, we got gatling guns, got decoys, and a projector to help repair this up if it ever took damage in combat. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 2098 small blocks, requiring the decorative block number 2 DLC packs. If I was to double click that and bring it in, there we go. The actual block count for this is only 1057, because when you spawn it in, the projector block is active. So what we're going to do is have a quick look around the outside, then we'll fly it around for a bit and see how it handles. So coming all the way around to the front here, this is what we get. A landing gear front and center to help connect yourself up to a base without using a connector. Just drive straight forwards and plop yourself onto a wall. On the left and the right of that, we got a camera setup with some LCD screens. We're coming all the way through here, that is our camera, and this is what we'll see, our hull integrity and our system integrity. Coming out of that and going slightly below, we'll see some rocket launchers to help blast your enemies, and we can start to see a bunch of gatling guns to aid the rocket turrets with their destruction. Moving just above that, even more gatling turrets, and over to here we got ourselves a fighter cockpit with a LCD screen on both sides, which is once again telling you your hull and system integrity. If we come around to the side here and putting the light on is quite hard because it is a very dark ship to get a good lighting onto it. But we'll see some atmospheric thrusters right there to help stop us, as well as a parachute hatch just in case things go horribly wrong and you need to make an emergency landing. We've got some LCD screens all set up along here with the name of the ship and the logo of the company that designed it. Then moving further along, we've got ourselves an interior light just for an extra decoration and some more great plot work. Moving along the side, another atmospheric thruster, and coming down to there we can see the white glow of some more atmospheric thrusters. And then towards the back, we've got a bunch of decoys which have been set up to allow you to drop them off in an emergency. If a turret or an AI has pinned you down, you can simply launch these out and hopefully you'll be able to escape. Yes, coming all the way around to the back, this is what we get. We've got 5 atmospheric thrusters to help push us along. We've got a spotlight over here to help gauge how close we are to a wall when trying to connect up our connector. And we'll also have a camera down here to help aid us connect everything up so we don't need to use the third-person camera. Just across over to here, we've got ourselves a small reactor just for some additional power. It's not needed, but it could be useful to recharge your batteries when you're out and about and away from a base. A connector there just to restock this up with ammunition in case you used a lot of it. And yes, we've got some red lights there which do look fantastic when they glow in the dark. Moving up and above this, we're going to see some more great block work and some more carbon fiber skin blocks, as well as a bunch of turrets. Yes, 3 gatling turrets to help blast away any pesky drones or missiles that catch you off by surprise. And we'll see even more atmospheric thrusters there, just to help you move down for some great maneuverability. We can also see the sides of our parachute hatches right there, as well as some more atmospheric thrusters which has just been hidden away underneath here. There we go, there's some large ones right there and some more smaller ones on the inside. Then moving all the way around to the front, another LCD screen, and there is our cockpit. Coming down and underneath past our landing gear, there's the bottom of our rocket launchers, and the bottoms of our gatling guns. We'll see some more atmospheric thrusters, and all the way towards the back, there is our decoy and the bottom of our connector. And with that all done and out of the way, that's it for the outside. It looks fantastic, it's very streamlined, very compact, got a lot going on with it, and for its size, it's very impressive that they got away with it. So, coming into my character and bringing up the HUD, this is what we get. Let's just ignore that's on there by removing it. We got ourselves a few button controls. Number 2 is going to be to deploy our decoys. Now that is a very hard sentence to say, I've been getting very tongue-tied with that. Yes, we press number 2, and we deploy our decoys all the way to the ground, and hopefully they'll be good enough to distract your enemies, and we can spam this to get rid of all of them. Number 3 is to be our cruise control, where we turn off our forward-facing thrusters, and when we move along, we're not going to be slowing down anytime soon until we switch that back on. Number 4 and number 5 are for our cameras at the front, where we can see our hull and system percentage, and the same on that one where we can zoom all the way forwards and all the way out. Number 6 is going to be for our gatling guns to blast them all out, and we do have our lot on here. Just listen to that sound. That's some glorious stuff going on there. Number 7 is for our rocket launchers, which is also at the front. They just fire straight out, no timer block or script going on here, they just all go together. Number 8 is going to be for our parachute hatches to open and close them manually. And then number 9 is to turn on all your thrusters. Just pressing it now will not do anything, because they're all on currently. Tab number 2, we come across to our landing gear and spotlight controls, as well as the rear camera. So there we go. Coming out of that and pressing number 5, we're going to have our spotlight turn on the back there, so toggling that on and off. And 6 is for our connector. Number 8 is then going to be for our LCD screens on the side, so pressing 8, we just turn them on and off, as well as the lights around it. And number 9 is going to be for our systems on and off, so pressing that, we're going to come falling down to the ground because we just switched off pretty much everything. Our O2 H2 generators, our batteries, our reactors, and all that will be switched off, and we can press number 9 once again to switch them all back on and fly away. Now I don't think I damaged too much on there, no I didn't, just the blocks around it, which is very good. It's a very strong ship to do an accidental crash with. Yes, we just switch them on and off just to save a lot of power. We go to 38 years with that turned off, and turning it back on, which would be about 2 hours just hovering here without our reactor being turned on. On tab number 3, we've got more controls over our thrusters. We've got our thruster override to push us forwards when we want to be lazy, and 2 to turn it all down. Number 4 is going to be to turn on all our thrusters, and 5 is to turn them all off. 6 for our hydrogen engine, 7 for our O2 H2 generator, number 8 is to stop power our hydrogen tanks if we want to recharge them, and number 9 is to recharge or auto our battery. On tab number 4 we then got a few more controls for our reactor on and off, our projector block on and off, which will be to project our blocks on the ship, so we should be able to see some there which I damaged, just for an easy repair if you took some heavy damage in combat. But let's switch that off for the moment. Number 3 will be to put some heads on our rotors, so putting that on, we'll spawn a bunch on there, and we're now ready to put some more decoys on it. And number 4 is simply a control for our turrets on and off. So let's just go and get rid of this. In fact, we'll go and crash this down into the floor because we need to spawn in a new one. Make sure all the thrusters are working. That'll do quite nicely. Over to here, and we'll just slam it in and spawn in a new one. There we go, fantastic stuff. Didn't really do too much damage. Never mind, eh? So spawning in a brand new one over to there. Just get into this, and we'll do a quick thruster test and maybe spawn in an enemy for this thing to shoot up. So going forwards, this is what we get. We use about 62% of our power just moving forwards, and we are fairly fast, aren't we? Just coming to a complete stop there and going forwards once again. In fact, we'll do a 180. There we go. So going forwards once again, we are quite fast. It's a very odd ship to fly because it feels a lot slower and a lot heavier than it actually is. We've got some nice speed going on there. Stopping, we're a lot slower, and we can always do a 180 and boost forwards if we're not happy with the rate of speed. But stopping, going left, we are very, very slow, and going right, once again, very slow. So we will have to use our mouse to maneuver ourselves around and try not to rely on our A and D. Going down, we're fairly slow, nothing too bad going on there. And going up, we should have a nice lot of speed thanks to all those thrusters. So going up, there we go. So going forwards definitely has all the speed on this ship. Moving my mouse around, we've got a nice lot of control over there. There's not too much weight, and we could even turn it down just a little bit if we're not too happy with it. Let's go for about that. There we go, we've got a nice bit of meat on there. It feels a bit more responsive. Yes, it's a very nice little ship, and I believe we need to spawn in a big enemy for this thing to blast. And there's only one great target. It's very good for beating up, and that is the Albatross. So there we go, we've now spawned that in. Time to switch to our gatling guns and just blast into it and see what kind of damage we can do. So going like that, oh, we are just tearing straight through all those armor blocks. We've got a lot of guns on here. This thing is going to make very short work of anything it attacks. Going to number 7 for the rockets. Let's just start blasting them in there. I'm not going to do too much damage with these rockets compared to the gatling guns. It feels like they're a lot more effective, but we are chewing through the internals of this ship. Going back to the gatling guns once again and firing all the way through. Yes, we're doing a great lot of damage. We're going to use a lot of ammunition. That's the only concern with this ship. If you're in survival mode, you have to be very careful with your gatling guns or you're going to be out in a few seconds. But with that done, let's make this a bit more difficult. Let's come over to a nice area where we can be a little bit protected from the turrets of the Albatross and we'll give the Albatross to the pirates and see just how well this thing can handle a frontal assault. And here we go for the grand finale of this video. Let's just come around to here. They've been given to the space pirates, so they should start to open fire any moment. So I'm just going to get into the camera. I'm going to try and disable their turrets before they start firing. They should have ammunition. Yes, they do. There we go. Now we're going to try and deploy our decoys. I've forgotten what they're called. There they go. Please target them. We're going to keep firing. Deploy more. There they go down. I think we've taken too much damage here. There's too many guns on it. And we are now falling. Our parachutes have been destroyed. Very good job with the Albatross there. They completely disabled us. Now we're just going to fall to the ground. And, well, we're still roughly in one piece. And we're still getting pummeled. We can't even turn off the projector block. So there we go. So it did a fairly good job at attacking that ship. But there were just too many guns on the Albatross for it to handle. And we're still getting pot-shotted by the turrets underneath there. But anyway, it's a fantastic little ship if you're looking for a small atmospheric fighter with a lot of firepower on it to blast your enemies with. It won't be able to take on large ships because it simply doesn't have the defense to deal with it. It's still a lot of fun to try anyway. There will be a link to it in the description below if you do want to play around with it yourself. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.